Hello WhatCulture and welcome to Ups and Downs. And if you're wondering why there's a little less madness in this intro, well, it's because at the start of Raw, Roman Reigns came out, he got on a microphone, and he let us all know that for the second time in his life, he is battling leukemia. He's got to give up the Universal title, and he's obviously got to go away for a while to focus on his health. Now, obviously, this is heartbreaking to say the least. Forget wrestling, forget characters. You know, this is about a guy who has a family who, like I say, for the second time is going through something I wouldn't even wish on my own worst enemy. And while we don't know him, like I don't know him personally, you know, we do talk about him week in, week out. He is present in our lives, so I think there is somewhat of an impact there. Or at least there certainly has been for me. When I saw it, it kind of hit me like a ton of bricks. Anyway, that's why we're talking about it now. There's no up, there's no down. It's far more important than that. Like, I'm not going to reduce it to a review with my finger or anything like that. But basically, the point is this. Everybody here at WhatCulture wishes Roman Reigns the best. We hope you have a speedy recovery, and we'll all be waiting to see you back on Raw whenever you're good to go again. Following on from that, we now get on with our own show, which of course is known as Ups and Downs. I know that's going to be polarizing, but for me personally, when these things come up, I think the best thing you can do is just try and enjoy life even more and remember that it's really the day-to-day that counts, because you never know what's around the corner, clearly. So as you can see, we do have a new set here on Ups and Downs, and mad props for Phil for doing all that. He put in a lot of work. We're going to play the ridiculous intro, and then hopefully for the next 10 minutes or so, we can just all put a smile on each other's faces and enjoy wrestling for what it's meant to be. You know, a piece of entertainment that lets all our troubles float away. So yes, my name is Simon Miller. This is WhatCulture. Raw happened around about 24 hours ago, or less than that, about 12 hours ago. Let's up those downs. Obviously, Roman started the show, but after that, it was Finn Balor versus Bobby Lashley. What the hell is that? The Militron 5000? What? The Militron 5000. Boy, howdy, have I leveled up today. I look forward to the moment someone takes my head and smashes it through, because you know that's what happens in wrestling. If you introduce a new high-end technological device, eventually someone's face will be smashed into it. Anyway, this match, yeah, no. WWE hot-shotted it a little bit, but after what began everything here, I just enjoyed seeing Lio Rush run around being asshole, Bobby Lashley being Bobby Lashley, before from nowhere, Finn Balor reversed the Dominator. He rolled Lashley up, 1, 2, 3. He gets the surprise win. And Finn Balor's like a proper face, so even I sat there and gave him a little bit of a cheer. This feud will probably continue as well, and we can get into it properly in 7 days' time when things have calmed down a little bit. But yeah, you know what? For what it was fine by me. Then got all the fallout from Drew McIntyre kicking Braun Strowman in the face last week. That's getting up too. I'm not entirely sure about who's being positioned as the face and who's being positioned as the heel, but Drew McIntyre made a very good point here. He said as soon as he saw Braun whip Dolph Ziggler's ass, he realized that he was going to be next. And you're right, you would have been. He then got up to leave and Ziggler asked him where he was going, to which Drew replied, "I'm off monster hunting." And then somewhere in Japan, Capcom's ears picked up. They were like, quick, we need to send a cease and desist. In short though, yeah, McIntyre just went looking for Braun Strowman, you know, because he's a monster. Maybe I was just in a melancholic mood too, but Sasha Banks versus Ruby Riot, that's getting up too. It was nothing special, and obviously all the respective partners with their relevant corners. We had Bayley and Natalya, and the Riot Squad were backing up Ruby Riot before Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan created the distraction, and that allowed Ruby to win. It was fine though, it was more than fine, it ticked that fine box. We'll just call it solid, and we'll move on. Nia Jax then cut a promo about Evolution. She's going to win the Battle Royal. She's going to get herself back into the title picture, and I'm really sorry to do this, but it has to get her down because it was the most scripted thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Now that's not really her fault, but you know, I can only react to what I see. This wasn't great. DX were out next to promote Crown Jewel, which amazingly is somehow still going ahead, and this segment was either good or bad, depending on what you like in your pro wrestling, because if you like super silly stuff, then you're going to give it an up. I like super silly stuff, it's getting it up. Honestly though, go and watch this HBK and Triple H promo and just pretend that you're hallucinating, because it's really weird. They talked about nostalgia and the new Halloween film and how the X on their shirts represent something new, which is NXT, and that basically when they're in Saudi Arabia, they're gonna kick the Undertaker and Kane's ass. It wasn't bad, but I wouldn't describe it as good. I would just say it was utterly bonkers, almost as if we told these two people, hey look, you go out there and you can just run amok. Then we did get the Undertaker's bong or dong or big bell. I can't say the Undertaker's dong. Sometimes I say bong, people go, you call it bong. I know, because if I call it the Undertaker's dong. Anyway, they wanted to send their own words of warning, and they were standing by two graves that had Triple H's and Shawn Michaels' name on it. And then for some reason, they started filling in the graves with dirt. What are you doing, Kane? What are you doing, Undertaker? If you fill the graves before you put Triple H and HBK in there, all you're going to do when you bring their bodies is lay them down on a patch of mud. Oh, it's really scary. The big two men have made me a bed. This was ridiculous. And also, for some reason, I just don't care about this match. I mean, Shawn Michaels is coming out of retirement, and I'm all like, meh. However, as a one-off entity, this was so silly, I couldn't help but smile through it. The news then came through the wire that at Crown Jewel, it is now going to be Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, and whoever wins will become the Universal Champion. I guess that gets it up. Makes that quite interesting despite the horrible situation around it. And actually here, I hope WWE does what they always do. And what I mean by that is have some kind of scurry finish, let the Universal title be held open or be held vacant, and then at Survivor Series, which is in but a few weeks, you can have a tournament to crown a new champion. And that also marks the 10-year anniversary of Survivor Series 1998 when we did exactly the same thing. You know my address, WWE. Check in the mail, please. I'll take 10%. Another down for another Evolution Battle Royal promo, this time with Dana Brooke, because it sounded like she was reading the script from Hollyoaks. If you don't know what Hollyoaks is, it's a really soap opera over here in the UK where people don't even seem to know that it's meant to be acting. They just read it like they're bits of wood. Which brings us to not just any normal up, but a damn golden up. Let it shine. Once again, Paul Heyman showed us how to take storyline and reality and just weave them together wonderfully as he addressed everything with Roman Reigns and also said at Crown Jewel, Brock Lesnar will become the Universal Champion. However, it was so powerful and it was so heartbreaking, well, I was in a little bit in awe of what he did. It got more fun too because eventually Strowman came out, because of course he did. He wasn't just going to wait in the back. This is pro wrestling we're talking about, and he debated Heyman saying, no, I will win at Crown Jewel, and then as soon as Roman Reigns is ready to come back, he'll get the first damn shot. Like an RKO, McIntyre then appeared from nowhere and Claymore kicked Strowman in the face, and all of this was just a fun little segment which allowed a bunch of storylines to continue on and move in the direction that they had to move. This looks like I'm massaging someone. I'm not, there's nobody there. McIntyre cut a promo saying that he wasn't scared of Strowman and that he's not a monster at all. If that is the case, Drew, why earlier did you say you were going monster hunting? You gotta think about these things because sometimes they come back and they bite you in the behind. But the best bit about all of this, and hence why it got this magic up, is that WWE is now going full throttle with Drew. He's getting pushed. That excites me greatly. Elias then beat Apollo Cruz, which made everything that we had seen 7 days ago utterly irrelevant. Nope, I don't know either. Down. One more down as well for Kurt Angle, who cut another of his backstage promos, although now he was talking about the WWE World Cup, which, by the way, if you don't know, is going to crown the best wrestler in the world, and he felt really scripted too. Down. They're all just so awkward because nobody talks like this, and I can't buy into it. If anything, that's the time I think I'm going to pop to the loo quickly, because I can't handle this bizarre way everybody is now conversationing with each other. And that ain't a word. And I think we then did find out why we killed off this Elias versus Apollo Crews feud. But you know what? The new direction they're going in, I secretly like it, but don't tell anyone. Up. Elias was back out on the stage, ready to perform a little song before Baron Corbin arrived and said, no, don't do that. And also don't piss me off, because if you do, I'll get in touch with Stephanie McMahon and I'll make sure you're fired. There was a long back and forth before Elias did decide to leave, but then he changed his mind, he came back out, and he twonked Baron Corbin with his guitar. And I'm guessing this is a new feud, and for some reason, I think that makes sense. I will say that if this is another rush turn and the Drifter is now a face for no apparent reason, that's going to tick me off a little bit because we could have done more here. However, good guy Elias, because everybody likes him, against asshole Baron Corbin, think about it. Just think about it. It ain't the worst idea in the world. Women's contract signing followed. It's good. Nothing too different. The Bellas were terrified about going in the ring because they thought Ronda Rousey was going to beat the crap out of him. She said she wouldn't, so Nikki took advantage of that and got on the microphone and said, look, you're just one big lie, Ronda. You made all the promises to your mum and you let her down because you lost in the Octagon, you lost in the Olympics, and you're about to lose to me. And how embarrassed are you going to be? Because in your own words, I'm nothing but a diva. She then slapped Rousey right across the face before Ronda just laughed it off, she did a little chuckle, and signed the contract. Then the women's champion said to Miss Bella, at the pay-per-view, I am going to end you. I am going to end you, so Ronda Rousey at Evolution is going to kill Nikki Bella. Look forward to that. Very well executed, however, and this whole program is a draw, to the point that apparently it sold more tickets for Evolution as soon as it was announced. Magic here. Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins next, and they cut a very impassioned promo, not only about their tag team title match later on, but of course their brother Roman Reigns gets them up. It was yet another thing on Raw that was just horribly too real, and it made my heart crunch, and you could actually see the pain in Seth and Dean's eyes. Well, I kind of hated it. They are taking on Drew and Dolph later though for the titles, and they also sent their best wishes to Roman Reigns, as once again I will do, and everybody at WhatCulture will do as well. Ember Moon then defeated Tamina, Nia Jax and Dana Brooke in a fatal 4-way match. Tamina took the fall after Moon had hit the Eclipse. I don't know what this was either. Down. Titus O'Neil hosted a breast cancer awareness segment after this, and given everything we'd seen on this night, I actually think it was more poignant than usual. Gets a massive up. We then headed backstage for a promo between Lita and Trish Stratus. I don't know, man. I don't know. This just doesn't feel that fun, and it doesn't feel that exciting. I thought it kind of feels a little bit flat. And because of that, get down. I also, for some reason, want Alexa Bliss and Mickie James to win. I just do. I feel it in my bones. And the best bit is when Alicia Fox arrived to interrupt them, and for some reason, compared to everybody else, Alicia Fox was about 426 foot tall. It was hilarious. It ended up with Fox distracted them so that Mickie James could run in and put a beating on them, but eventually the faces got the upper hand and they put the beating on the bad guys instead. Now there is a lot of rumors that apparently Alexa Bliss has suffered a concussion and she's not going to be at Evolution, and she wasn't here in this segment either, so maybe this was done to transition into Mickie James and Alicia Fox taking her place. Now that will absolutely suck. I don't know, I don't have all the details, I'm just letting you know what I know. We then had a phenomenal main event this week though, and I mean absolutely phenomenal. Getting up. It did see Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins win the WWE World Tag Team Championships, and in the process, it also fueled forward about 72,000 other storylines. This was WWE at its best. Strowman came out to chase Drew McIntyre away. That meant Ziggler got caught up in the fracas, and he did indeed get pinned to lose his titles. And then as they were celebrating, Dean Ambrose turned heel on Seth Rollins. Pooh! Gave him the dirty deeds. That would have been enough, but there was another amazing moment where Seth Rollins was actually showing empathy and sympathy for Dean Ambrose, going, it's okay, I get it. And that just pissed off Ambrose even more, and he carried on the beating, including giving him another dirty deeds onto the floor. The crowd was stunned. Dean got proper heel heat here, and I don't know if they did this because of everything that happened at the start of the show, but if Roman Reigns gave his blessing here, then my word, this whole situation could explode like a pepper cooker. And I don't even know what a pepper cooker is. So a very emotional episode of Raw, and one that hopefully will put things into perspective as we go forward. And one last time, Roman Reigns, yes, we wish you all the best. Hopefully we can make a separate video about that because, well, to me it's just important. We talk about everything else in the wrestling sphere, in the wrestling landscape. I don't know why we shouldn't just focus on something that's very real, and like I say, very difficult to even hear, even more so for the people that are actually associated with Roman Reigns. So fingers crossed, that was Raw Ups and Downs. I'm going to do the little end bit now because that's just what we do. So don't forget to leave a comment below and let us know what you thought about the show last night. Like, share and subscribe. Head on over to WhatCulture.com and read yourself some articles, and follow WhatCulture on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. My name is Simon from WhatCulture. Thank you for watching Raw Ups and Downs, and if you do want a little tease for SmackDown Ups and Downs tomorrow, this whole set's going to change again then too. For the better. You'll see. See you soon.